Hi, I'm AJ Hard, and I'm the author of Shiver and Fears. The name of Shiver and Fears comes from the idea of goosebumps. So when R.L. Stine came up with his idea, it made me think about how goosebumps isn't just about fear, but it's also about the cold. So I used that phrase goosebumps and just changed it into a different thought of life. So when I first started Shiver and Fears, the theme of it all was going to be slime, just like Goosebumps. But that's suddenly changed when I thought, I am not R.L. Stine. So when I thought of the phrase Shiver and Fears, it made me think about the cold and how fearful it is in the cold. So where do Shiver and Fears get their ideas? Well, let me tell you this. I just come up with them on the top of my head. Sometimes I'll lay in bed and just constantly think about what's scary and what scares people and, common monsters that are in the air. My first story, The Unlucky Charm. Wow. I remember, I forgot what I was watching, but I was watching a cartoon that day. And this kid had like this lucky rabbit's foot, and I remember his friend looking at him saying it sure wasn't lucky for the rabbit. And I remember thinking like how upset a rabbit would be if you cut off his foot and gave it to somebody. And then like I was thinking like rabbit's feet come in like completely different colors, and I was like, what if the rabbit wasn't painted that way, but it actually came that way? So, yeah, it just comes up to me at the most random of times. What advantages? Well, when Shiver and Fears first started, it was just something that was on Amazon. It was something that you could look up, and it was kind of hard to look up too. So over the years, I just started making things. I made a Shiver and Fears store, started making puzzles, customizing things, and as I kept doing these things, Shiver and Fears started growing. It wasn't just a book now. It was something. It was a image that you see on backpacks. It was an image that you see on napkins. It was a puzzle. It was a quiz. Shiver and Fears even grew up to be social media networks. So it became pages. There's a blog, So over the years, Shiver and Fears just kept growing online. I mean, people are always saying like, oh yeah, I know AJ Hard, and to my surprise, like even celebrities know Shiver and Fears. It was a total shocker. Like, I actually got a message from Kyle Massey telling me how he has read every Shiver and Fears book ever made. I was amazed. So, I do more than just write books. I actually been doing music way before I've been writing books. The reason why I started my books was because my sister had introduced me into a website that would take my work and publish it. And later on, I was just like, but I still like writing songs. I was writing little songs, pop music, and wanted to start that career. I also do a little tennis, playing tennis back and forth. I actually didn't like sports when I was younger, but when my pastor at church introduced me to tennis, that racket just like had a zip in my hand to where I was just like, I gotta play more tennis. I'm also a teacher. I been working at a private school for about 8 years, and to this day I'm still tutoring and teaching other kids. Oh, where's the editing? So here's the thing. Shiver and Fears really doesn't have editing. When I started writing, I didn't really have a lot of money, and a lot of people were saying, hey, it costs $100 per page to get editing done. And I asked my friends to help editing, and they were just like, well, we got careers and we're doing this and that. And so I just came up with the thought that, you know what, Shiver and Fears doesn't really need editing. I was actually watching an episode of Friends, and there was this part where I think like Joey was turning his head and stopped, and then there was another take where he was still turning his head, and I was just like, wait a minute, hold on, that's not perfect right there. And then like I remember there was also this time I was reading someone's schoolwork, and it was phrased wrong, and it made me think, you know what, this world is not made perfect, so why does my books have to be perfect? So sometimes I do get a good friend who will help edit, but other times I'm just like, you know what, it's perfect the way it is. Hey, I want to thank you for listening to this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. This has been Shiver and Fears author AJ Hard, and I hope you enjoy my new album, An AJ Hard Jolly Day. Thanks. Have a good one.